Overnight after a second federal agent shooting in a week. This happened just before 7 last night in the Hawthorne neighborhood in North Minneapolis. The Department of Homeland Security says it started with a traffic stop that turned into a chase. They say the suspect and two other people started attacking the officer, hitting him with a snow shovel and a broom handle, which is when the officer shot the original suspect in the leg. And that led to the hours of protesting that you're seeing here that at times became very intense. So the officer and the suspect are in the hospital this morning. Right now, we don't know what their conditions are, but we are working to learn that.
And in the last 30 minutes here, brand new reaction from President Trump. So let's get to the live desk with Megan McPherson. Megan, what did he say?
Yeah, so like you said, within the last hour, President Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to curb protests in opposition to federal immigration enforcement operations here in the Twin Cities. This is that Truth Post Social here. I'll get to that in just a minute. But if you're not familiar, I was just looking into this myself. The Insurrection Act is a rarely used federal law that would allow President Trump to deploy U.S. military forces. That includes active duty troops or federalized National Guard here in the U.S. So that's the law at large, but that would allow him to do that here in Minneapolis to respond to civil disorder or insurrection. Now, back to that Truth Social post, which was made at 7:04. Trump said if, quote, corrupt politicians of Minnesota fail to stop what he called professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking ICE officers, he will, quote, institute the Insurrection Act and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state. Also, reaction from local leaders overnight. Governor Tim Walz posted on X just after 11 p.m. last night, saying state investigators were on scene. He wrote, quote, I know you're angry. I'm angry. Donald Trump wants violence in the streets, but Minnesota will stay an island of decency, justice, community, and peace. Don't give him what he wants, end quote. The city of Minneapolis also sharing a similar message on X, demanding that ICE leave the city and state immediately, and saying it stands with immigrant and refugee communities. Here's what Mayor Jacob Frey had to say last night.
American citizens are getting picked up off the street by people in masks. That's not the way things should be conducted in any city in America. That's not who we are. That's not America. So I'm calling for peace.
Now, I also just wanted to mention this, and we brought this up earlier, but according to the Brennan Center for Justice, the Insurrection Act has been invoked about 30 times throughout American history. It was last used in 1992 when President George H.W. Bush sent troops to Los Angeles at California's request, and that was following unrest after the Rodney King verdict. So we will certainly continue to follow this, and I'll be back in about 30 minutes to let you know if we have any other updates.